What's up, my comic comrades? Before we get into anything else, we want to tell you that we will be making a massive, very special exclusive announcement this Friday, May 28th at 11:45 a.m. CST, right here on the Variant channel. We can't give you any details yet, but just know that it's among the bigger and most exciting things we've ever announced on Variant. And all of you, the Variant Nation, will hear and see it first, before it goes out to the rest of the world. So set your reminders, mark your calendars, tell your butler, whatever works for you. Just make sure to join us this Friday, May 28th at 11:45 a.m. Central for one of the biggest announcements we've ever made. You do not want to miss it, trust me. A reminder for the date and time is in the description. Now for today's episode, we're continuing our coverage of the Batman Catwoman series by Tom King. We covered issue 1 a little while back, which you could find the video for right here. So be sure to watch that or read that comic for yourself, because if not, you're going to be lost today and things will be spoiled for you. Either way, this series introduces the Phantasm into main Batman continuity, or at least I think it does. DC has been kind of vague about what is and isn't in continuity. It's kind of hard to follow. But again, I'm pretty sure this is in continuity, so we're just going to go with that. But before we dive in, we want to thank Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's episode. We've been talking about Raid Shadow Legends for a long time here on the show, but here's the question. Have you taken down the Demon Lord yet? Have you crushed the Ice Golem? Have you ascended the Doom Tower? What about fighting against millions of real players in the arena? If not, it's time to raid, my friends. The team over at Raid actually just sent over this Hound Spawn as a gift. God, I hope it doesn't eat much. Did you just fart? Anyway, in the world of Raid, you'll explore millions of champion combinations and master countless tactics as you take on raid bosses, dungeon runs, campaign battles, and PvP arena matches. And with hundreds of artifacts to equip and over 500 champions, each with unique skill sets, you can build your team and develop your champions to raid your way. And right now, you can use our links in the description to download Raid on your phone or PC. Building our roster of champions continues to be our favorite part of the game, and over the past couple of months, Raid has released a bunch of dope new champions. In fact, as part of this month's update, they've just released 11 more amazing new champions, including Rule the Huntmaster, Marauder, Vagabond, and Hatatsu, just to name a few. Side note, I know I've said that the Dark Elves faction has been my favorite, but I think this new Shadowkin faction is now competing for the top spot. Let us know who your favorite faction is in the comment section. Anyway, in addition to the new champions this month, Raid also released almost 200 brand new missions to complete with an exclusive legendary champion as your reward when you manage to finish them all. And if that's not enough, they also added 5 tough new levels to almost every single dungeon in the game, which is an insane amount to add in just 1 month. As we're always telling you, Raid just keeps getting bigger and better every single month. So what are you waiting for? Click our links in the description to download and start playing Raid now. Good luck, and we'll see you there. But now, my comic comrades, let's dive into some Batman Catwoman. It's important to note again that this comic bounces between 3 different timelines, so you may have to pay attention a little more than usual to avoid getting confused. With that said, let's jump into issues 2 and 3. Alright, before we start, I'm going to name all 3 timelines as to help you not get lost. You have the future timeline, which deals with an older Joker and older Catwoman. You have the past timeline, which takes place at some point in the past and deals with Catwoman working alongside the Joker. And then you have the present timeline, which is dealing with Batman and Catwoman trying to stop the Phantasm. So from here on out, I'm just going to refer to them as the future, past, and present timelines. Get it? Got it? Good. The first page of issue 2 opens up in the future with an older Catwoman and Joker, where the Joker is asking, how are you going to do it? Referring to how she's gonna kill him. We are then quickly taken to the past, where we see Batman and Catwoman in the Batcave while Batman is examining the death of Jimmy the Lion. Batman tells her the Joker killed him, which she already knows, and we already know as we saw this happen in issue 1. We then jump back to the future, where Catwoman answers the Joker saying, with my fingernail, I'm gonna open your neck and watch you empty. Man, that is like the definition of getting straight to the point. The next page then takes us to the present, where we see the Phantasm in all of her glory saying, Scott Huff, your angel of death awaits, as we see blood on her blade. Which gives me all the chills in the world, because not only is this drawn fantastically, but that is straight out of the Mask of the Phantasm movie. I mean, that's the Phantasm signature line, and I love reading it and hearing it, just all of it. We then stay in the present, but apparently a few hours later, where Batman and Catwoman find Scott Huff's body. Batman then says he was a former Joker henchman, grunt worker, loaded piranhas into tanks, put acid into flowers, etc. He got 10 years for it. He was safer inside. Catwoman then makes a joke saying, I tried henchmen once or twice. Bunch of guys dressed up as cats. Didn't really work for me. They were too loud. We then go back to the past, where we see Catwoman in front of a toy store telling what I assume is a young Scott, I need to talk to him. He tells her he's not here. She says, okay, I get it. as she kicks him through the door and makes her way in to see the Joker, who's sitting on Santa's chair surrounded by Christmas decorations. Joker then says to her, "Selina darling, Merry Christmas," but she's not in the mood. She then proceeds to tell him, "You couldn't clean up after yourself, everything has to be a calling card." He's looking into the Jimmy the Lion thing. Joker then answers, "I am chaos, I am destruction, I am the tickle in your throat before you choke. I don't clean up after myself." As he's sucking on a candy cane, she then takes out the medallion from Jimmy the Lion's necklace and says, "Great, well, Mr. Chaos and Destruction, remember not to clean this up when he takes you this time. Because if he finds it on me and not you, I'm screwed." Now, if you're confused about this whole necklace thing and why it's linked to both of them, again, watch our video on issue 1. It's all explained there. We then jump back to the future where Selina is at the Joker's apartment. As they're sitting there talking, he asks her if she would like a glass of water. She says yes. When he's about to bring the water back, he says, "Oh crap, you want ice? It's not cold, but I like it. But I got ice in the freezer if you want it." She answers, "Ice would be great. Thank you." But come on, this is the Joker. Clearly, he's not gonna just bring her a nice cold glass of water. The reason why he asked if she wanted ice is because he's hiding a gun in the freezer. And while all this is happening, they're having a conversation about the time Selina slit his throat at the church before Batman and Catwoman's first wedding. We are then brought back to the present where we see that the Phantasm has struck again, this time killing Warren Poland, who worked for the Joker 8 years back. Catwoman then tells Batman in front of Porky's bar with the GCPD, she's hunting. Batman answers, again. We are then taken back to the past. You see what I'm saying? This comic does not play around. It jumps around a lot. Anyway, in the past, Batman is trying to open a safe that Gordon couldn't get open as it's one of those new unbreakable locks. Then Catwoman says, "Bat, come on, move," because even though he's Batman, Catwoman's specialty is breaking into safes. Batman then tells Catwoman a record shows that Jimmy recently purchased a large diamond necklace. It wasn't found in the house. I'd like to confirm it's not here. I found minute bits of chain in his pillow, as if it was ripped off. Catwoman asks, "You think the Joker stole a necklace?" But as we know, it wasn't the Joker, it was her. And Batman was right. She did in fact rip it off of him. Anyway, back to the future. You get it? You see what I did there? I don't even care if you laughed. That one was for me. But as I was saying, in the future, we see the Joker peeking through a cracked door, poking his gun out saying, "Okay, I got your water." He then jumps out saying, "With ice," as he shoots the couch. But unfortunately for him, Catwoman is standing behind him, looking extremely creepy while holding a picture frame. But before we see what happens, we jump in time again to the present, where we see a man running for his life through the subway, and when he finally makes it onto the train car, he stops to catch his breath. And I also have to stop and point out that in this panel, there's an Easter egg, which is a Beware the Grey Ghost poster. And as many of us know, Grey Ghost is from Batman the Animated Series. He's Bruce's childhood hero. There's actually another panel before this where we see the Grey Ghost poster. It's epic. I'm loving all of the Batman the Animated Series Easter eggs all throughout this series. Obviously, we have the Phantasm, but we also saw the Sewer King in issue 1. With that said, back to the story. If you thought this ordinary dude was gonna be able to outrun the Phantasm, you were so wrong, because we actually see her through a car door window a few cars back, slowly making her way towards him, which is drawn in such a great horror way. I just love the way this is paced. And of course, ultimately, the Phantasm gets to his car and he just says, "Jesus, please." But the Phantasm tells him, "Brian Patchett, your angel of death awaits you." Then back in the past, Bruce and Selina are having dinner, where Bruce is starting to become suspicious of Selina and her connections to Jimmy the Lion's necklace. But guess what? We jump again. We are then taken back to the future. Come on. I had to do it again. It's just too easy. We see Selina smash Joker over the head with the picture frame. And as he's on the ground with stars over his head, she says to him, "How long I've waited." Joker then pulls out a knife and tries to cut her, but she just dodges and kicks him, saying, "I can't even get Andrea out of my head. I keep seeing her. I used to beg him for it. Just this one thing. Just once. I was on my damn knees," as she continues to punch old man Joker. Then back in the present, we see the Joker has used the bat signal to call Batman to a Gotham City rooftop. Joker then tells both of them, "Have you ever understood why they put all those big gates around cemeteries? It's not like people are dying to get in." He then shoots a white flag out of his gun saying, "I surrender, Batman, I do. The Phantasm is coming for me. Please, I don't want it to get me. Save me, Batman. Please, please save me, Batman," as he's on his knees holding up a white flag of surrender. Then in the past, we see Batman brooding on top of a gargoyle with Catwoman behind him as he says, "The necklace was a lion, a cat." Catwoman answers, "So what?" He tells her, "I've done this before. I can't. I won't do this with lies again. Build it with lies." Catwoman then says, "Ask me." He then asks her, "Were you there with the Joker?" She then gets in his ear saying, "No." Lying to the Dark Knight yet again. Meanwhile, in the future, we see Selina take off her glove saying, "Even as he died, he made me promise. made me swear to be good. As she puts her hand on Joker's chin, Joker says, well, everything considered, at least that's funny. As she does what she said she was gonna do earlier, slitting his throat with her nail and watching him empty out. And with that, issue 2 comes to an end. Issue 3 opens up in the future with the new Batwoman standing in front of the bat signal saying a body in Portland, Oregon, Florida. Joy. But aren't you the commissioner of Gotham, Dick? Meaning that the man behind her is Dick Grayson, who is now the commissioner of the GCPD in this future. Anyway, he answers saying it was an elderly man living alone in a retirement community, throat slashed ear to ear. Found him days after it happened. He was wearing makeup. Some had come off. Under the makeup, his skin was white. This Batwoman then says, we've been looking for him for 10 years. He wasn't in Florida. Then as both Dick and Batwoman look at the bat signal reflected on a building, he tells her about his first encounter with the Joker and how he was having fun being a sidekick until he heard the Joker laugh among all the dead. And then it wasn't fun anymore. The book then jumps to the present where we see the Joker locked up in a cell singing his own twisted version of a Christmas song to Batman and Catwoman as they watch him via a monitor in the Batcave. We are then taken to the past where we see Selina punching the Joker saying, you bastard. Joker says, oh hey Selina, how is everything? She then kicks him saying, he found your damn reindeer. Who were they? Did you enjoy it? Was it funny? Screaming as you sewed antlers on those poor families? What is wrong with you? The Joker answers, oh darling, do you think I know? Then in the future we see older Selina eating at Wayne Manor with what we find out is her daughter who says, I saw Dick today. Meaning her daughter is the new Batwoman, which makes sense because if this is Selina's daughter, it's also Bruce's daughter, as Selina and Bruce got married in the future. But also Selina confirms this is Bruce's daughter, as when she's talking to her, she says, your father left me his fortune, and when I go, Helena, it will of course be yours. While Selina is eating, her daughter tells her, mother, they found something in Florida, a body. They think it's the Joker. Dick thinks it is. But Selina just ignores her, so Helena goes, mother, did you hear me? At which point Selina goes off on a completely different topic, talking about how she was an orphan and poor and eventually ended up with the Wayne fortune. Helena then says, they're running tests now. I should know shortly. I'll let you know as soon as I know. But Selina just says, I became a cat. I met a bat. Helena then asks her mother, is everything all right? And Selina just says, and now I'm the richest woman in the world. Now, obviously she's ignoring her daughter because, well, she's the one who killed the Joker, so she already knows the Joker is dead. Then back in the present, we see the Phantasm kill yet another person inside of their own apartment. Elsewhere in the present, Batman goes to the Joker's cell in the Batcave and says, Paul Fleischman is dead. The Joker says, oh my God, no. Also, who is Paul Fleischman? Batman then grabs the Joker by the collar saying, she sliced him up like she's been doing with all your former helpers. GCPD ran the autopsy, found the message, your little tattoo on his tongue. Joker then answers, oh right, Fleischman. Batman then throws the Joker up against the wall saying, I'm done. Phantasm wants you, she can have you. I'm letting you out. But the Joker just tells him, no, you're not. I go out there, I die. You kill me. And you won't kill me, Mr. Batman. You're too nice to kill me. Then back in the past, we get a page and a half of Bruce and Selina talking with him knowing there's something she's not telling him, but she just seduces him and takes him to Pleasure Town. We are then taken back to the future where we see Batwoman on top of a gargoyle on the phone talking with her mother, telling her they match some DNA from the old crime scenes. It's him, mother. The Joker is dead. Selina, back at Wayne Manor putting on her makeup, says, the world weeps. Ever so sarcastically. Batwoman then tells her mom Dick's taking jurisdiction as so many of his crimes were centered on Gotham. He asked me to help. I'm taking the Batplane south tonight. Selina asks, jurisdiction over what? Helena tells her it's the Joker, but it's still a murder. Selina then laughs saying, Helena, sometimes you sound just like your father. Still a murder. My goodness, child. Helena then says, yes, well, I assume father's death played some role in all of this. The two of them dying within weeks of each other. Selina tells her, I suppose they were always tied, those two. They existed with each other, maybe for each other, and so they lived together. They leave together. Then back in the present, we see that the Phantasm is standing in front of Selina's bed saying, Selina Kyle, your angel of death awaits. Because as we know, she too also worked with the Joker in the past. But Selina is no random Joker thug. She's Catwoman, so she puts up a fight and eventually tackles Phantasm out of her window, with both of them landing on the ground below unconscious. We are then taken to the past where we see Catwoman breaking into a safe, but when she opens it, we hear the Joker's voice coming from inside, with him saying, can I tell you I've been looking high and low for you, and just when I gave up, here you are. Life can be so funny. So I guess the Joker was waiting for her in a safe that he knew she was gonna rob. We all know the Joker is nuts, but really? Anyway, he then starts this long conversation trying to get into her head, basically saying stuff to the effect of, you can't keep living this double life. Either you're good or you're bad. You can't be both. And of course, he's trying to bring her to the side of evil with him. He even sets her up telling her a killing he's planned that's gonna kill a crap ton of people. But she can't warn Batman because then he'll know that the two of them have talked and wonder what the heck's going on there. So she either has to choose to tell Batman about this planned attack, but in doing so, Batman would find out the two of them have been talking, and she would potentially lose Batman's trust again. Or she says nothing and all those innocent people die. And as the Joker finishes setting her up, we get a shot of him crammed into the safe saying, "Are you Catwoman or are you Batman?" For whatever reason, it's extremely creepy seeing the Joker crammed into the safe. I don't know. I just don't like it. On the last page of the issue, we see Selina and Elena having dinner at the table once again. Helena tells her mom, "I was in Florida yesterday, at his apartment." Selina asks, "Oh, and how was that?" Any clues? As we get a panel of Batwoman picking up a clue. But Helena tells her mom, "No, mother. Unfortunately, it was clean." And with that, the issue ends. And just like that, we have issues 2 and 3 of Batman Catwoman. I gotta say, the more the series goes on, the more I'm liking it. Initially, I was kind of meh with all the constant jumping back and forth between the past, present, and future, but once you get used to it and learn what's going on in each timeline, it starts to get really fun. So I'm enjoying the series and loving all the Batman the Animated Series references. Also, it is so much fun seeing the Phantasm go after the Joker again. And it was also cool that Selina was the one who ultimately ended up killing the Joker after Bruce died. It just made sense to have that "my husband wouldn't do it, so I'm gonna do it" moment. Especially after all the crap we're seeing the Joker put Catwoman through in the past timeline. And Helena being the new Batwoman so far is really cool. I also like that Dick is the new commissioner of GCPD in this possible future. But other than that, what did you guys think? Are you enjoying this series? Let us know in the comment section. First up for the week of the 26th, we have Star Wars Darth Vader issue 12. One, this title has been amazing, and we actually started covering it on the channel, so be sure to look out for that. 2, it's a Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters tie-in, which can only make this series better. Here we have Robin issue 2. After the shocking events of Robin issue 1, Damian has learned the deadly rules of Lazarus Island the hard way. Now he must prove that he belongs in the tournament and uncover its secrets. And finally, we have the long-awaited Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin issue 3. You know what I'm gonna say, Turtle fan or not, this is definitely one of the best series of the year thus far. Read it. And that's gonna bring another episode of Variant to a close, but if you like today's video, be sure to check out this one right here. And if you like all of our content, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. It always helps us out. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.